the tide is turning against President Obama. We've got a new Washington Post ABC poll. It shows that the public trust in the president on the economy is about neck and neck with the Republicans in Congress. And it gets worse for the president. His job approval rating is 50%. That's down 5 points since January. Joining us now is Sabrina Schaefer. Sabrina, welcome back. Good to see you again. Now, my position is that this turning of the tide began when the White House canceled public tours. I think it was downhill from there. Am I making too much of this?
No, you're not at all. I think it put into sharp relief for the American people just how out of whack the president's priorities are. The economy is the #1 issue for American families who are working hard, getting their kids to school, getting to jobs, and we have a national debt creeping to $17 trillion. We're borrowing 40 cents on every dollar. Unemployment has hovered at 8% for a year now, and we had all of this hysterics over sequestration with no meaningful cuts except for tours at the White House.
But you think this has gotten through to the public? You think that the poor performance of the economy, the continuing poor performance, and now these cuts, which really were not really serious at all for most people, except as the president intended, you think that has really turned the tide of public opinion, over and above what we're seeing in these polls?
I think people are realizing that if we want to see meaningful change to our budget, to our economy, to the national debt, we need to tackle entitlements. They realize that cutting the White House tours is superficial. It's not getting at the real problems. And I think that poll suggests that people are opposed to cuts, but I think that when people are talked to about how we want entitlements here for the long term, how we want to have solvency in the long term, that suddenly they actually do believe in serious, meaningful reform, even means testing.
That's incredible, because that is the total opposite of what we've seen for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
You say you're going to cut entitlements in any way, shape or form, and you're out. You win the election if you go against the cutting of entitlements.
Well, Republicans might not like me saying this, but I think that is actually a winning message for them. I think that they need to just get behind that. And one of the problems is that...
You are a Republican? You describe yourself as a conservative?
Conservative.
Leaning right?
Yes.
And you say that the Republicans should now say, get to grips with entitlements. It is a winning message?
Yeah, I think that they shouldn't be afraid of it, because one of the problems is that the message is always being driven by the left. And if the Republicans don't respond now, if they don't get behind the Ryan budget and really come out there with something consistent and forceful, they're not going to be able to sort of benefit from this drop in the polls.
Last point.
I think the polls are showing that the crisis is in how we govern ourselves. That's what the American people are feeling. We don't govern anymore. The people are fighting. So when we talk about entitlement reform, it has to be couched in how it helps the middle class to save those programs.
Save Medicare, save Social Security.
Absolutely
Don't
agree.
kill it, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry we're out of time, Sabrina, but we thank you very much for being with us today. I think it's a very important subject, the turning of the tide here. Big stuff. All right, the FDA warns that